Hello everyone. Now in this lecture we will understand the next concept, that one is related to the constructors. That one is what is meant by the constructor and types of a constructor and the destructor. That one is simply the this concept we will cover under this lecture. We have already understood about how to access the data member function with the access modifier and the public and private. Then member function in class, that one is inside the class and outside the class. Then function prototype, that one is a function declaration, and the utility functions. Now we will understand the constructor and destructor. Then first constructors, that one is a default constructor, parameterized constructor and copy constructor. Means a particular constructors have three types, that one is a default, parameterized and the copy. Then what is the constructor concept is? A constructor is a member function. Constructor is a member function of a class which initialize the object of a class. Which one is a member function of a class which initializes object of a class? That is, a particular function is initialized by the object of class. That is the concept. Constructor is automatically called when object create. When we create the object like a class name and the object name, semicolon, whenever we mention this line, or it may be compiler compile that line, it's automatically call the particular constructor. That is simply the process. Special member function of a class. It is a special member function of a class. Constructor is a function, that is the special function. Why that is special, we will understand. How constructor are different from a normal member function. The constructor is different from the normal member function with the following ways. Constructor has the same name as the class itself. Means when we define the function and that function name is same as a class name, that one is again the we can say that is a constructor. Means the function have a same name as a class, that function we can call as a constructor. Simple. Constructor does not have a return type. There is no need to mention the data type and the function name. You can, without data type, you can mention the particular function. That means a constructor is different from the normal function in the following way. Constructor has the same name as the class itself. In a particular function, when we call that function as a constructor, that function have the same name as a class itself. Means if class name is a, then the particular function name is also A, and then we can call that function as a constructor. Constructor does not have a return type. Constructor does not have a return type. That means like int, float, void. No need to mention before the function name as a constructor as a return type. Constructor is automatically called when an object is created. When we create the object like a class name, space, then object name, semicolon, at that time the constructor is automatically called. Do not specify a constructor. If we do not specify the constructor, C++ compiler generates a default constructor for us. Expect no parameter and has an empty body. Means whenever we call the function, or maybe whenever we create the object, it automatically calls the constructor. But it does not reflect at the time of execution because of its empty body and the no parameter. Okay, but by default compiler generates a default constructor. If we define a constructor, then that is user defined, but user not created the constructor, then it's automatically generated. This is simply the process of a constructor. Then constructor have types, that is a default constructor, parameterized constructor and the copy constructor. Then we will understand with the code, that is default constructor means what? Default constructor is the constructor which does not take any argument. It has no parameter. That one is simply a program name. We will run this code as a default constructor. save, just to clear it, then run it. Compile process is going on. That means simply and it prints a 10 and 20. And then what is the default constructor means what? That is simply we define one class name is a construct, right? Then mention with the public as a int a and b. Then we call one function that under the member function, we can say that is under the class. This is the data member, this is the member function, but the function name is same as a class name. Function name is same as a class name. That's why we can say that this is a constructor, but default constructor. Why default constructor? It does not pass with any parameter. Okay, it contains a simple, this constructor means the function contains a initialization a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Then it comes under the int. When we generate the object, we create the object, it automatically call this constructor. Okay, means with the help of this line of execution, it's automatically call this construction, assign the value to a and b, and then we directly print these values. Okay, this is simply the process. Means under the main function, when we call the particular function, then we mention like this: c dot object dot function name, right? Function name, that one is a construct. Construct is a function name, construct, right? And then it calls the particular function, right? But there is no need to call this function which comes under the particular class. Why? Because of that is a constructor. It's automatically called when we create the object. That type of a function is called as a constructor. The constructor name or the particular function name is same as a class name. That function called as a constructor. And then it's automatically assign, when we create the object, it automatically call the constructor, call this function automatically, and it assign the value to a and b, and we directly print that value under the main. That is the actual use of a constructor. Okay, that one is simply the process. Now we will understand the next. That one is about the constructor. Even if we do not define any constructor explicitly, means user defined, the compiler will automatically provide a default constructor implicitly. Means compiler automatically run the particular constructor if the user not define it. That is actual the concept. But that implicitly run constructor, it's have no body, no parameter passed. That is a not reflection in our program, but it run. We will understand the exact use of that in a later part. The next constructor type, that one is a parameterized constructor. It passes the argument to the constructor. It is possible to pass the argument to constructor. Typically these arguments help initialize an object when it is created. We will understand how, with the help of code, how exact it work as a parameterized constructor. We will copy this code and we will understand practically how exact it work. If we check it out with we will firstly run it to verify proper compilation, and okay, then this is the class name is a point, right? Under the point, x and y data members are the private, means we cannot access it outside the class. Then again public contains data members, member functions. The member function name is a point, is the same as a class name. That's why it's run as a constructor. Okay, but the constructor have a parameter, that is x1 and y1. Then again we define two more functions. That one is not a constructor, that one is a member functions. It's a get x and get y, and when we call this run these two function, it returns something, right? When we call this function, it return x to get x and y to get y. This is simply the class contained three function one is a constructor, this is a constructor, and these are the two normal member functions. Now we will check it under the main function. That one is a point, is a class name, p1 is an object, and we pass the two value to the object. Then point p1 means automatically constructor is called, 10 and 15 is passes to the constructor, 10 and 15 is passes to the constructor. Then it catches the 10 in x1 and 15 in y1, and it assigns the value to x and y. The particular x and y is a private variable. We assign the particular x1 and y1 is not a private, it comes under the public, but the x and y is a private. We assign the value under the member function or a constructor with a public variable. That one is x1 copy into x and y1 copy into y. Why we use here x and y? Because of private member is accessible under the class. Then x contains the 10 and y contains the 15. Now we will check it under the main. Then cout p1.x is equal to, we call the getX function. p1 is an object, class object, that's why we can access this function with the p1.getX. This getX function call, then it jump to the getX at 18 line number 18, then it returns a x, value of x is a 10, then it return a x to the getX, then getX get the value from this function, that one is a 10. Okay, it prints a 10 value here, it prints a 10 value here, and it prints a 15 value here, because of get y returns a 15. That is simply the logic behind this code. These are the two function, are the member function, this is the constructor. That is simply the explanation about the parameterized constructor. Now we will understand the next concept, that one is copy constructor. We already understand the constructor, default constructor, parameterized constructor. Now third type is a copy constructor. A copy constructor is a member function which initializes an object using another object of the same class. Means one class have two object, and we just to initialize a function, means a member function which initializes an object using another object. Means we initialize the value to a first object with the help of another object of a same class. Consider as object 1, object 2. We assign a value to object 1 with the help of object 2. Means object 1 is equal to object 2. We assign the object 2 value to object 1. That is, we can say that is a copy constructor. However, it is not necessary, but it is considered to be a best practice to always define a default constructor. Means normally constructor, when we create the classes, it's a best practice to define the default constructor. Then when is user defined copy constructor needed? We know about the in a previous point, that is a parameterized constructor. Means if you want to pass the value to the particular constructor, then it's called the parameterized constructor. This is normal default constructor, right? That one is automatically called by the. When is a user defined copy constructor needed? Copy constructor. Okay. C++ compiler create a default copy constructor for each class. If the user is not created, then the compiler is automatically created, which does a member wise copy between the object. Then we need to define our own copy constructor only if an object has a pointers or any runtime allocation of the resources, like a file handling. Means when we use the copy constructor, definitely under the file handling and the network connection, means it's depend on the functionality. At that time we use the user defined the copy constructor. By default, the compiler creates a default copy constructor for each class. That is again a concept, and the use of that we will understand in an advanced part as a C++. Okay, this is simply the copy constructor basic need explanation about the why we need a copy constructor. Then we will understand this code and about to how exact it useful. Control Alt V, Control Save. then this is simply the code class, that is class name is a point, then private members x and y, then we define a constructor that is a point, it contains a parameter, means it's a parameterized constructor, then this one is a parameterized constructor. Okay, then copy constructor, how we define a copy constructor, that one is simply the with the same name, but we passes the value of a second object. That one is in, before that we need to understand the main function. Point is a class name, p1 is a first object, passes the two value to constructor, that is 10 and 15. We can say that that is a parameterized constructor. Then if we check it out, that is x1 contains a 10, y1 contains a 15, then it copied to x and y, x is 10, y is 15. Now it it defines the second object, that one is a point p2, this is second object, but we pass the value to second object as a p1, means p1 contains a 10 and 15, it's a copy constructor is called here. Then p1 copies some value to p2, then how exact, whenever we create the second constructor, second object, it automatically call the copy constructor, that one is simply the p1 assigned to the p2, copy constructor is called here. Then what will be the happen, it execute the process, that is it passes p2 as a p1, means p1 values. Then what happened, that one is a point address of p2, it catches a particular address of p2, then it assigns the p2.x into the x and p2.y into the y, means p1 copies the x and y value in a p2, and then p2 accesses that value with the help of p2.x and p2.y, and then we will check it out what will be the output of the x and y, because of we replace the value here, means initially we copy the x as a 10 and y as a 15. Now again we change the value with x and y, whatever the values, we will just check it out. And that one is if we check it, p1.x is 10, p1.y is 15. Okay, that one is simply the process of a copy constructor. Okay, if we will check it, check out the output, that one is initially we print the p1.getx, getx, it gives the output as a 10, p1.getx, it returns a 10 because of x value is 10, and then again we call the p1.get y, it gives a 15, p1.x is 10, p1.y is 15, and then we will again call the p2.x and p2.y, it will again the same value because of we copy here with the help of copy constructor. Then we copy that one is from the p2.x to x. Okay, p2.x to x, means p1 assigned to the p2, it assigns the x and y value, that is a 10 and 15, right? And then again we copy that p2.x and p2.y into the x and y, and it again print the same value, means we copy the p1 to p2 here. That is simply the copy constructor use. Okay, then next, that one is destructor. Means what? Destructor is another special member function, is again the member function called by the compiler, it's automatically called by the compiler when the scope of object ends, means when the scope of object is end, then this destructor is called. Destructor usually used to deallocate the memory. What exactly the use of destructor? To deallocate the memory and other cleanup for the class object. It class member when the object is destroyed. That one is simply the use of destructor. That is deallocate the memory or the cleanup for all class object. That one is simply the process. is the simply process of a destructor. We will run the code related to a destructor, how exact it works, and we will understand practically the use of destructor. Just to mention, with the one class as a gigs, then public id data member is a public, then we call the constructor, then we call the destructor here. Then when we create the object, automatically constructor is called, it prints a hi, and then again the it prints a value of id. Then how exact it prints the value of id? Because of we just to initialize the value, that object.id is 7, and that one is again the called by destructor and prints the id under the destructor, and that is printed by the destructor. That's why we say that that is automatically called after the end of the scope. We will just run the code, and we will understand how exact the automatically call the destructor is simply the okay, it prints a hi. Why it prints a hi? Because of in the main function we create an object. Because of the creation of object, it automatically call the constructor. Under the constructor, what is meant by the constructor? That is by default means function is a function which is just name of function is same as a class name. Then it prints a hi. Then it again come to the next line, object1 dot id is equal to 7, right? Then the scope of object is end here, and it's automatically call the this constructor to clear the all memory, right? For verification, we see out here the value of id, that one is 7. It prints a 7, means it's automatically called the destructor. It prints the value itself and remove all the memory or deallocate all the memory. This is simply the process or use of destructor. This lecture contains explanation about the constructor types and the destructor. What is meant by the constructor? That one is simply the function, and that member function of a class, and the particular function name is same as a class name. Then we can say that that is a constructor. Okay, thank you.